Alright guys, what's up? We're going to talk about some barrage smokes today. And to kind of start it off, there's always the window smoke that everyone's always asking about. The best way to do it is you come to T-spawn, and you want to line up right on this little niche right here above this. So this is a centered. So this means you're centered. Also, how I was taught before this was there's a point between this wall and where they meet, the corner. And you want to line up this thin little bar with the corner. From there, there's these two balls right here. And you want to align yourself in your crosshair in the middle of those. So you'd be aiming a little bit above here. From there, see this is in the antenna. It's the highest point on the antenna. It's the easiest way to remember. It's the highest point on the antenna. So you're going to line up your height with this, but you're going to line up vertically or horizontally between these two, and then you're going to go vertically and align horizontally with this. So what it looks like as your 3 points of reference. You've got 1, 2, 3. Okay, align in the center, and then come up, pull your smoke out, and throw while you run. So it takes a little bit to get used to that, but that's going to be the window smoke. And again, you always want to throw it. You always want to throw it about here, like right before you're about to let go, right before you're about to run into the fence. That's when you're throw it about here. And it'll take a little bit to get used to, but you'll definitely get the hang of it. One of my favorite smokes, actually, because playing competitive for a while, it's always hard to get the smoke down without being, you know, kind of vulnerable from getting shot. So the rug right here, there's a little yellow mark, and you can see it with your crosshair. I'm just zooming in so you can actually see it. So there's a little mark right here. What you want to do is jump and throw your smoke at the same time. So you want to aim here and jump throw. And what that'll look like when you come up is it actually lands on the second stair or third stair. So what's really awesome is that no one can actually see over the smoke like a typical connector smoke. They can jump and then try to spray you, but realistically they're pretty much ineffective. So I absolutely love that smoke, especially when it's paired. So if we kind of just mock this smoke again, right here, and then we have the window smoke down. It's actually a perfect pair to go up cat. So this is awesome for a cat take if you pair the window and the connector smoke. Alright, and then for the CT smoke, what you're going to do is line up against these little bars right here. And then you are going to line up with this little black thing right here to the left of the building. And then you're actually going to line up to the little gray part, or little, like, you know, darker brown part right here. So use this as your landing point and then kind of just shift up a little bit. And then you just want to make sure you're in the center, and then you come here, lift it up, and throw. Jump and throw at the same time. And what that looks like is it should land about right here, and then that CT player is completely useless. So it's really nice because he can't see through any cracks, and then what's actually really awesome is he can't actually see you from here either. And then he can kill apartments or palace, but the only way he's actually going to be able to do anything on site is if he jumps up here, and he's completely vulnerable. So this is a great smoke for getting site control and kind of taking out the control, taking out op or control on A site, because most people do play with an op on site. The next smoke we're going to do is the connector smoke. This one's actually really easy. Kind of the same thing. If you kind of notice, all of the smokes have something in common, or, you know, pairs of them do. So remember that little nick we were talking about to line up? Kind of the same thing. So you have this little nick right here, right? So you're going to line up with the nick, just kind of like this. And then there's a little point right here. So there's, if you look, the easiest way to think about it is right when the column stops, there's a wall, the left wall, and then there's a point right here. So what you want to do is you want to line up with this little arrow, this little like brick line right here. Line up with this line, and then just put your crosshair slightly above the top and let go. You don't need to jump, you don't need to walk forward, you don't need to do anything. And what that does is it'll bounce off this, and then it'll land right here. And the reason why I like this smoke is because it's simple and it's effective, and you can barely see through the smoke like this, and this is a pretty tiny angle for being effective. And you can perfect the smoke, you know, more and more, and get the perfect, pixel perfect smokes down and things like that. But again, this is one of my favorite smokes because you know that the player is either going to peek that little slit, which most players don't. He's either going to push up on the catwalk, or he's just going to fall off and be ineffective. So either way, it's either a free kill, or a really, you know, quick kill for him if he can make that really fast shot, or you're just going to take the site and deal with him later. Next smoke is actually one of my favorites. You actually nudge yourself in between. It's kind of interesting. You nudge yourself in between the wall and the door in this little section right here, kind of like the lip of the door. And you just want to align your crosshair like this. And then there's a little, light post right here. And then there's this little, castle looking nudge coming out. What you want to do is aim your crosshair at the tip of the light right here. And then you want to, so this is your basically your alignment, your first point of alignment. Then your second point should be aligned with this. So realistically, I'm coming from right here, and then this is where I'm going to be throwing my smoke because I'm aligned with this and I'm aligned with this, which makes this. So all I'm going to do is throw, and this is a sight smoke, a shortened CT smoke. So this is if you want to smoke, sight and then get the bomb, like just push in, get sight control and plant the bomb really quick. If you need bomb money or it's pistol round or something like that, it's a pretty effective smoke to do so. And then as far as A smokes, that's about it. You've got your connector smoke, you've got your CT smoke and your sight smoke. And then moving over to B, this is one of my favorite smokes. It's especially great for cat control. So let me go ahead and get my M4 again. So what you want to do is you want to kind of walk up and be sneaky so you don't get shot while you're doing the smoke. But what you want to do is nudge yourself in the corner, and if you notice this is a little bit awkward, just kind of like shove yourself to this side versus this side. So nudge yourself in, and then just let go of your keys all at once. And then what you want to do is so if you look, there's 3 of these, right? 1, 2, 3. So you want to aim in the middle of the 2. I call this, I think the best way to think about this is the middle, because you're aiming at the middle one of the 3, and you're aiming in the middle between where light meets dark, or black meets white. So obviously this line would continue through the wood. So what you're going to do is align your crosshair on the middle beam in the middle of where light meets dark, and then you're going to jump throw again. And what this does, and you have to wait a little bit, but you can kind of spot this out. What this does is it smokes off the cat player. So the only angle he's going to be effective is right here. And the only angle you have to look at is this angle. So you can just peek out this angle, and then you can just don't worry about it, and then you can peek out, and maybe you can even creep up on him, on this cat player. So this is just awesome because most people get gauged from cat because they're sitting here and they're like, standing behind this little beam and they're just shooting people all day. Well, that's not really possible with that smoke. So that's going to be the basic smokes for Mirage. As I learn them and as I kind of pick up new smokes, I will definitely continue to make videos for you guys so that you can learn the smokes, because I think it's really important for people to know smokes on maps to be able to make plays on the spot and on the fly. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to check out twitch.tv/vaLCSGO, and I hope to see you guys there.